Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Osetale. Today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful corset that you see me wearing. It's a corset that does not expose the boobs. Okay, if you look at it very well, you see that my boobs are sitting perfectly inside the cups. My boobs are not showing. So if you're interested in seeing how I cut and sew this beautiful corset, please keep on watching and let's go straight to the tutorial video. Welcome back, guys. So this video is a continuation of our previous tutorial, my last tutorial that I shared with you guys, where I drafted out this pattern. So this is the pattern I'm going to be using now to cut on fabric that we'll be using to make this video. If you haven't seen this video on how we drafted this pattern, please go to the description box. You'll get the link there to watch the video. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using for this tutorial, and this is the lining I'll be using for the lining. So I also have the pad. This is the soft pad. You can see I'm going to be making use of the soft and the hard one. So this is the hard one, so we're going to be making use of the two pads together. As well have my hairstay and paper gum, so we're going to be making use of all these things for this tutorial. Now I'm going to go ahead to use this pattern paper to cut on fabric and the lining piece for this tutorial. So this is what I had after I was done using the pattern paper to cut it out on fabric. You can see I have the fabric and the lining piece. I added ½ inch to all the sides for the joining allowance. Okay, so for this center front, you can see the inches I added here is more than ½ inch. It is 0.75 inch. Why? Because I'm going to be using it as the bony casing. Okay, so the other sides we have ½ inch, and this side front the same thing, 0.75 there and ½ inch on the other side. The back I added ½ inch on all sides. Then the zipper allowance. Now you can see the pad, I've gone ahead to cut them out. Okay, these are the hard one and the soft one. We also have the same thing for the piece too. Okay, so this is it. Now guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead to remove all the pattern paper from the fabric because we're about to start sewing. So I'm just going to place the pattern papers aside. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead to iron hairstay and paper gum to all the pieces. I'll be ironing hairstay to the Ankara fabric itself, then I'll be ironing paper gum to the black lining. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go ahead to do right now. So guys, this is what I have after I was done ironing the hairstay and paper gum to all the pieces. Okay, you can see I went ahead to label the cups so that I won't mix it up. I also draw the arrow so I will know which part is facing which part. I did the same thing to the lining pieces. Okay, so this is it guys. Right now I'm going to be placing the lining pieces aside. I will go ahead to start working on the actual fabric. Okay, so we are going to start with the front pieces. I'm going to place the 3 front pieces together like this. I'm going to place it on it just the way you are seeing me doing. Then I'm going to go ahead to measure 0.75 inch, which is the sewing allowance that I gave to it. So I'll just measure it so that I'll get it accurately. I will rule the line. Okay, then I'll go ahead to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, place it together, measure it and rule the line. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to just run a stitch on it just like that. This is what I had after I was done running the stitch. Okay, I've joined it together. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut one part of this allowance so that it won't be too bulky. I'm just going to be cutting this part off. Okay, then I will do the same thing to this other side. Just cut out this part, cut out one of it so that you will use the other one. I'm going to be using the other one now to top stitch it for the bony casing. I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and top stitch it. Then I'll do the same thing on this other side. So guys, this is what I had after I was done doing the top stitching. Now we have a hole there which is going to be for the bony casing. So I'm going to be placing the front piece aside. Now bring the cups. For the cups, you can see what I'm going to be doing is I'll take one of piece 1 and I will take one of piece 2. I'll make sure that the arrows are facing the same direction. Then I'm going to go ahead to join it together. I will do the same thing to the other cup. So guys, this is what I had after I was done joining the two cups together. Okay, now I'm going to bring my ball. I'm going to be using ball to iron this flat. You're just going to open it up like this, then you will iron it. So guys, this was what I had after I was done ironing the two cups. Okay, you can see how they are looking so pretty already. So I'm going to place them aside, then I will bring the parts. Okay guys, you can see I didn't add much allowance to the pad. I only added like 0.25 inch, which I'm going to be using to join the two parts together. So that was it. The same thing applies to the second piece. I only added 0.25 inch. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take one of the hard pad. I'll take piece 1 of the hard pad, then I will take the piece 2 that corresponds to it. So I'm just going to take this now to the sewing machine where I'm going to be sewing it. I'll just try and see if I can sew it on top of it like that. Okay, so I'll try to do that. If it doesn't work, I'll go ahead to join it. So I'll do that to all the pieces. So guys, this is what I had after I was done joining it. I decided to join it because I tried to sew it on top, it wasn't working, so I joined it instead and it came out so nice too. So this is it guys. You can see the cup is already looking like already made cups. So what I'm going to do now is I will take one of the hard one and also I'll take one of the soft one. I'll take the one that corresponds like the same and I'll place it together like this. You see, you have the one here, so this is the same. You're going to take the same like this, then you're going to place the other two together for the second cup. So I'm going to place these two cups aside now, then we'll go ahead to keep working on the actual fabric. I'm going to bring my front piece like this. I'll get a cutting bias guys. You see, we already created a bony casing for the sides, but we don't have bony casing for the middle, so I'm going to be using a cutting bias to do that. So I'm going to be sewing it at the back, okay, because I don't want cutting bias to show in any front of this dress. So I'm just going to be sewing on both sides. So this is what I had after I was done sewing the cutting bias on both sides. So that is going to be bony casing for the middle. Now I'm going to go ahead to attach the cup. Okay, you're just going to place it the right side. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead to use my pin to pin these together. So just go ahead and pin it together before you take it to the sewing machine to sew.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop.
Now that I'm done pinning guys, you can see even without sewing, my cup is already looking so nice. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and sew it round, then I will do the same thing to the other cup. This is what I had after I was done sewing the two cups guys. It is looking so pretty already. I'm just going to cut off these excess threads. You can see how the cup is looking so nice. Now I'm going to bring these cups that I placed aside earlier. You can see I already placed them together. Now what I'm going to do now is I'll just take it to the sewing machine and just run stitches on it in order to join this soft and the hard one together. So guys, this is what I mean. I just run stitches on it. It's not as if it's clean or fine, it's not going to show, so I just sew it together like that. So now that we have secured the two cups together. Now I'm going to be placing it inside of my fabric. I realized that it was too big for the fabric, so I'm going to go ahead to trim out of it. So guys, after trimming, I placed it on it and it was perfect. Okay, you can see how perfect it is. Now we use this perfect one to trace the other one. So I'm done doing that. Now I have trimmed the two cups and they are currently perfect. Okay, so you can see, so this is it guys. It is sitting perfectly inside, and you can see I have half-inch sewing allowance at the upper side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting hemming gum inside of it before I place the cup. So you're just going to go ahead and put hemming gum inside just the way you see me doing it. Just place hemming gum inside like this before you place your cup on it, and after you're done doing that, you go ahead and iron it.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane.
So guys, this is it. After ironing, I have secured the cups inside of my fabric. Now it can't move or go anywhere, so it's perfectly inside of it. So now guys, what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead to place this front piece aside. Then I'll bring the lining piece, which I've already joined together, just the same way we'll be joining the front pieces guys. I went ahead to join the lining piece because of time. Now I'm going to be joining the actual fabric and the lining piece together. So you're just going to place them the right size facing each other like this. Then you're going to go ahead to pin down this middle part. Okay, now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm just going to sew it all the way to the end. Just sew it like that. Then you do the same thing to the other side, just sew it. This is what I had after I was done sewing and top stitching guys. Now I'm going to flip it just like this. So this is it guys, this is what you're going to have. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now to iron this. Okay, so guys, this is it. After ironing, I went ahead to trim out the excess lining pieces. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. Now I'm going to be placing the bunny inside the bunny case that we have, so you're just going to go ahead to do that. So before I put it, I'm just going to trim this sharp edge so that it won't spoil the fabric. So just trim it like that and you go ahead to put it on all the three bunny cases that we have there.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come.
So guys, this is what I had after I was done putting the boning and ironing it out. Now I'm going to be joining this lining piece and the actual fabric. So you're just going to flip it like this, like the way you see me doing it. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I will join it. So just sew the hem part of it. This is what I had after I was done sewing. Now flip it to the right side and iron it out. So guys, this is what you're going to have after ironing. Now I'm going to be placing the front piece aside, then we'll go ahead to work on the back. So I'll bring the back pieces guys. I'm just going to open them up on the table. Then I'll be placing the lining pieces on each one of them. Okay, so you're just going to place it on it like this. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I'm just going to sew it like this, and like this. Then I'll do the same thing to the other one. So guys, this is what I had after I was done sewing it, as I earlier demonstrated. Now I'm going to go ahead to flip it to the right side and iron it out. This is what I had after ironing. Now I'm going to place them together, the right sides facing each other like this. I'm going to mark out the zipper allowance. So I'm going to be measuring 1.5 inches. Then I'll just measure it on all the sides like this, the way you see me doing it. Then I'm going to go ahead to connect the dots. So just connect it like this. Now after marking the zipper allowance, I'm going to go ahead to mark out the dart. So I'll measure my dart, making sure that it stops at that zipper allowance area. I'll measure 4.5 inches. Then I'll come up here and measure 4.5 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead to rule the line. Then I will mark it on the other side as well. So just mark it on the other side and go ahead to rule the line. Okay, so guys, after doing this, now I'm going to take this to the same machine. I'll just sew a loose stitch on that zipper allowance area. Then I will sew the darts. This is what I had after I was done sewing the darts. I also went ahead to fix the zipper for the sake of time, guys. So this is it. Now I'm going to be placing the front piece on the back piece like this. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead to join it together using the 1 inch that we added for the sewing allowance. Okay, so guys, this is what I had after I was done joining it together. I also went ahead to weave it, guys. So this is it. The top is basically ready. So this is how it is looking when you open up the zipper. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is it. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is the sleeve. I'm going to be working on the sleeve, guys. For the sleeve, I already have 2 fabrics that I have hemmed the 2 sides. Okay, you can see I have hemmed this side and also hemmed this side. I did the same thing to the other one. The fabric is about 24 inches wide and it is 12 inches long. I mean, the length of the hand is 12 inches. So this is it, guys. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting elastic band through the part that I fold. So I'm going to measure 10 inches elastic band. I'm going to use that to cut out 4. I'm going to be cutting 4 10 inches long elastic bands. So guys, this is them. I'm going to use my safety pin. I'll just place it on it like this. Then I'll go ahead to pass it through the fold that I made, just like this. So guys, when you get to the end here, you're just going to secure it with a pin. Okay, then you will continue. So when you get to the end at this other side, you do the same thing. Remove your safety pin and secure it with a pin. So right now I'm going to go ahead to do the same thing to this other side. Then I will do the same thing to the other sleeve. So guys, this is it. So I've done it. Now I will stitch all these sides. Then I will do the same thing, put elastic band on the other sleeve. So this is what I had after I was done putting elastic band on the 2 sleeves and securing it down. Now I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm just going to go ahead to sew it together. Then I will do the same thing to the other one. I will sew it together. This is what I had, guys, after I was done joining it together, as I said. So this is it. Now I'm going to flip this to the right side. Okay, so just flip it to the right side, then we'll go ahead to attach it to the body. Okay, now I'm going to bring the top. I will open up the zipper like this. then this part where we join the back and the front piece together, so I'm going to take one of the sleeve where I joined the sleeve together. I'll just place it on that part where we joined it together. Then I'll go ahead to pin it down with the pin. Then I'll do the same thing to this other side. Okay, go ahead and place it together and pin it. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine. I will just secure it. I will run a stitch on it, then I will run a stitch on it as well. So guys, this is what I had after I was done running that stitch. You can see I sew it to the body. Okay, so this is it guys. This is basically all for this tutorial. Our corset that does not expose the boobs is finally done. So guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Let me know if you are going to be trying out this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be seeing you all in my next video.